What up and welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm your host, Rombone. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 117 up in here. Much love to everybody that's tuned in right now, whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platform. Today, I got a special guest with me, bringing back Robbie from the Twisted History IG page. What's good?
What up? Just hanging out. We're recording this New Year's Day, so I'm at about 85% today. I cracked into some E40 brand Tropiscato and sweet tea liquor. I got to support 40 water, so ringing the new year with him, and not super hungover, but a little bit.
There you go.
Besides that, I mean, I'm obviously ecstatic. We'll get into it.
Hell yeah. And Happy New Year to everybody that's tuned in. 2020 is over. Bullshit ain't over. It's just a new year, but it is a new year, and Happy New Year to everybody tuned in. And before we get into the show, I want to send a special shout out. We got a donation this week from AK Shoehead on Instagram. Much love for the donation. Again, like I said, all the donations that do come in, they're put aside to help make the show better. And it's super appreciated. And thank you again to AK Shoehead. If I'm saying that right, that's your IG handle. But much love again. Another shout out I want to give to 2020 just couldn't end peacefully. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan, but rest in peace to Doom. That came in like the 11th hour of 2020, and
literally, yeah.
MF Doom's family posted it up on his Instagram, social medias. He passed away on
October 31st. Yeah.
Yeah. On Halloween Day, which is wild that, shout out to his team, his family, and whoever held that down. It makes sense because that dude was just such a enigmatic character in itself. You never knew, I've always heard things of like, he wouldn't even show up to his own shows. He'd have somebody else under the mask performing on stage and shit. So, but rest in peace to Doom. I saw you post something about him.
Yeah, I was a big Doom fan back in the day. And I mean, obviously it's, he didn't put anything out in the last couple of years really outside of the Czarface record he collaborated on and stuff. But super sad. I mean, just a super talented guy from way back from the KMD days, when it, sounded more like a Native Tongues kind of thing up through the grimy, Operation Doomsday and Madvillain and all that. Like, just such a talent. I was thinking about, though, it's weird because, like, it is the most Doom shit ever for, like, him to have died 2 months ago and no one knew about it. Like, he's just a mysterious weirdo. And it's almost in a way, it's like, I feel like the Doom persona and character has become something outside of the man, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like Stan Lee died or something, but like Spider-Man isn't dead. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially like you're saying, like doing the shows where he would just pay somebody else to do the show for him with the mask on. It's like, that's like a franchise or something. Like, that's like it's a larger than life thing. So it's bizarre. It's bizarre for something that's so almost no pun intended, because he called himself a supervillain, but it's something that's so like superhero-y and large to be dead. I don't know. It's a bizarre feeling. It feels like Prince or David Bowie, kind of, not in the huge mainstream appeal way, but like no one had a bad thing to say about that guy really, outside of like you said, not the biggest fan, but you were like, right, he's trash.
No, like, it's just, just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I can't recognize dude was legendary. Really was.
Yeah, absolutely.
The way he carried himself, and people hold his releases in high regard. Doomsday, what was it? Danger Mouse.
Danger Doom, yeah.
Danger Doom, yeah. All that shit. So, yeah, rest in peace. It's always sad when somebody in the hip hop community dies, even if, even these young dudes that in 2020, a bunch of them, being murdered and shit like that. It's just, it doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. If you're in the hip hop community, it sucks. Just plain and simple.
And there'll never be another Doom. I mean, that's just such a specific, iconic character. I mean, he's got that weird Wu-Tang energy where like white dudes that don't like rap like Doom, or right, white dudes that think they like rap, but don't actually like much of it like Doom. That kind of thing, where it's like, I don't know, just a broad appeal for such a specific, interesting dude. So yeah,
I
R.I.P.
remember when Czarface announced that they were doing the collab with him, and that cover was so fucking dope.
It is,
You
yeah.
know, I got the vinyl, I got the CD. I'm a big Czarface fan.
Hmm.
And of course, I had to cop that. You know, I always cop vinyl and the CD that they dropped. But I just remember when they announced that, I was like, this makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's interesting that you'd be a big Czarface fan and not that into Doom, because they feel like they play in the same pool to me. Like they with the samples and the beat style and the 90s, you know, rap cadences and all that.
Yeah, it's very similar, and that's why when it happened, I was like, okay, this makes sense. This is like this is the collaboration right here.
This should have always been what it was. Like,
right. Doom should have been Czarface.
Exactly.
Doomface, if you will.
Is that what it was called?
No, metal meets face meets metal.
Oh, okay, sure. Like yeah, when you said Doomface, I was like, "Yep, that's the one."
Right.
No,
but rest in peace to Doom. You know, 2020 couldn't end. Fucking had to throw that one in at the last minute.
Yeah,
fuck up the whole hip hop community.
Ugh, yeah, for real. It's weird when you see everyone from, you know, LP to Q-Tip from Tribe and like, you know, that to like Shaggy the Airhead. You know, I mean, like the spectrum of people that are upset about that is broad. It's rare to see that.
Yeah, I saw Devereaux saying that was basically his main inspiration to start making music.
Yeah,
I've seen quite a few people say that, and you know, makes sense, especially within our age range and generation.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's an interesting because it's such a specific thing, but the broad appeal is undeniable. So yeah, R.I.P.
Rest in peace to Doom. And you know, on to music and news. Let's wrap up the HelloFresh holidays. Did you watch HelloFresh holidays?
I watched the first two, I think. I watched the slideshow, which I thought was super dope. What was the first one? The cooking. I like that a lot, actually. And then I just didn't watch the rest. Not for any good reason. I was just preoccupied with other things, I think. You know, Revelation had just come out, so I was on a real Twisted kick, and I think I was just wasn't where my head was at. But I mean, I bought it. I have it forever. So, you know, I will go back to watch it. I intend to. I just didn't get to most of it.
Yeah, I watched most of it. I still haven't watched the JCW thing. And when I said that, everybody was like, "Bro, even if you don't like wrestling, you gotta watch that."
That's what I heard.
It's just so dope. Everything from the wrestling to the commentary from 3D and Guido. So it sounds like it's gonna be some throwback like Stranglemania shit in Violent J's house. I still gotta peep that.
Yeah. The picture of him on the the kitchen floor with the flour, it looks like everywhere, and the table broken, and I'm assuming he made a bunch of money off that first round of streams and was like, I got to get new kitchen furniture anyway, so let's just fucking break the old ones while we're at it.
Right. Yeah, so I haven't watched that. And then this week, there was the last two streams. The first one was A Night with the Crystal Die. It was Jump Steady and ICP. They basically had a 20-sided die, and they would roll it, and they had sheets of paper, like 3 or 4 sheets with categories and topics that they would talk about. I thought it was a super dope show. I really like these shows where it's just kind of podcast style, where ICP, Jump Steady, and whoever else they have on the show is just shooting the shit, chilling, just kicking it back and forth. Those seem to be my favorite streams that they've done, even going back to the October show.
Absolutely. Well, they're so charismatic, and I could listen to those guys talk about nothing for 6 hours, and it's just like engaging. And I don't know if it's just because I've been following them so long that it's like feels, not to beat a dead horse or whatever, but like familial in a way, or what it is. But it's just like it's like I don't know. It's like people listen to like meditation podcasts or whatever, you know, because they like calms them down. It's like soothing to listen to those dudes just ramble about nothing.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what this show was. You know, it was just them talking about random shit, and it was a dope watch. One of the better streams of December, because, you know, as I've said, and you know, we'll say again, that the December streams just weren't as good as the October streams. They really went all out for October, you know, probably because they didn't think they were going to do it again.
Yeah.
But they did announce during that show Monday night that February will be
Doing it
getting
again.
another, Juggalo Weekend is in February. So I'm sure they'll have that event incorporated into that. Maybe that'll be the theme for the month. They talked about bringing back the Zen of Love podcast, which I thought was not good this past month. I don't know. I mean, I guess I get it for Valentine's Day, but
Yeah, I saw some.
hearing them trying to give out like legitimate love advice is not what I want to hear. I want to hear a ton of love advice. You know what I mean? Like shit that's just off the wall. Just
was the advice good at all?
I mean, some of it, from what I watched, I only watched about an hour of it, and some of it was, it just seemed kind of like basic advice that they were giving.
I just remember every time they would go on Loveline back in the day, and Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew would be doing the real advice, and ICP would just be fucking it up and ruining it and being funny the whole time. So I kind of thought it was going to be a throwback to that, but I didn't realize they were doing like real straightforward helping people advice.
Yeah, they were like in silk robes and shit, and it just, I don't know. I wasn't entertained by it. So if they do bring that back, I probably won't be, unless they come funny with it. I probably won't tune in for that one. But and then on Wednesday, they had ICP's Pointless Pizza Party, which I haven't watched. But I heard Violent J was 2 hours late to the show.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't show up to a few of the streams or events, whatever, this month.
The biggest one.
Yeah, he wasn't even at Big Ballers.
Right. The one. I mean, the reason to have a month of shows. I'd
be pissed if I bought a ticket, if I actually bid on a ticket and showed up and I got a Shaggy 2-Dope solo set. Not that Shaggy doesn't kill it solo, but I'm expecting ICP, not Shaggy 2-Dope solo.
Well, it happened to me last year or 2 years ago or something like that on the Fearless Fred Fury Fest or whatever it was, where showed up, got in line, bought tickets, a month or two in advance, and get to the door after waiting in the long ass line around the venue. And as I'm walking in the door, I see a little 8x10 piece of paper with, typed on it, Violent J had some kind of thing. Tonight's show will be Shaggy only, blah, blah, blah. Just, man, it's the most disappointing thing in the world. Because, like you said, no hate or no whatever to Shaggy, but that's not what you're there for.
Yeah, you paid for an ICP ticket,
right?
Not a solo ticket. You have certain expectations going into something. But I heard this was good. This was more just them just shooting the shit again, talking about whatever. So I'll probably peep that this weekend just to wrap it up. But
yeah, I saw the very a small little bit of it because obviously Wednesday was the same night as Attack of the Ninjas, which I watched, and then I saw just, I don't know, 2 minutes of that, and because I was just, what is it? What is this pointless pizza party? And it looked fun. Looked like they were just talking, which, I don't know if I need to pay $65 for somebody's podcast, but no disrespect. You run a great show, but yeah, I don't know. It's fun to listen to those guys just banter.
Yeah, I said before, the October streams, even if we didn't get a gift bag, I felt like those streams were worth the $65 price tag alone. Just because
absolutely.
They were so ill, so dope. The December ones, really, I'm just paying for that Yum Yum's Lure CD if we ever get it.
We'll see.
Yeah. I did receive. I'm signed up with the USPS Informed Delivery. If you don't know about it, you can sign up for Informed Delivery, and it just lets you know anytime somebody is sending mail to your house. If your address gets plugged in to the USPS system, which is what they do when you send out a package, I get a notification, and I got one yesterday for Farmington Hills or whatever it is, Michigan. And that's letting me know that, because I didn't order anything from their website. That's letting me know that those October packages are coming. But from what I did hear from the Pointless Pizza Party, the songs are still not recorded.
Right. So what are they, just to appease people, trying to send out the merch side of it, and then the CD will come when it comes?
That's what it seems like.
I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing I cared about in that package,
Right.
honestly.
The CD. Yeah. I mean, same here. I don't even remember what else was included. The coin, of course.
Right. It's fine. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know. It's good to be excited about things. It's been a fucked up year. I'm happy people are finding joy and whatever, but like I don't understand the desire for these coins.
Yeah. I mean, it's I talked about it on last week's show, and then we really got into it with DC Fago guy, me and Joker's Gallery.
Yeah,
And
I listened to most of that. So I heard that conversation, but yeah.
yeah, and it's just I hate why is everything so exclusive now? Why is everybody the elite supreme juggalo? And these aren't even my words, these are their words that they're
Right.
using for these
Exactly.
coins. Like what about the rest of the people that can't either afford to go to the shows, which is most likely the case for these ultra live Monster Fives?
You don't think you're gonna be able to pull off going to the Bahamas or whatever on a
I've never
small
left.
boat?
I've never left the country in my how old am I? 37 years I've been alive. So
Yeah.
to go to an ICP show, it's very highly unlikely. I've
Guess you're
never
not
even been to
special.
a gathering, so
Yeah, I guess you're not that fucking cool.
yeah, I'm not that supreme of a juggalo. I'm just
Mm-mm.
a regular peasant juggalo, I guess, at this point.
That's Juff shit, man.
Yeah, I'm a juffalo.
You got to international travel for these fucking points.
Right. But I did get the shipping notification that a label was made in Farmington Hills, Michigan. So it looks like, if you're wondering, it looks like, even though I didn't get any confirmation from Psychopathic, that we might be getting our October packages soon, which realistically, if they're going to be doing these February streams, these packages need to be in people's hands before the February streams at the very latest. Very latest.
Or
I'll be
by
honest,
Valentine's Day or something.
I'll be honest, I canceled my Patreon subscription.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick of being promised shit and nothing comes through.
Yeah, I know I would just resubscribe if I did, because they'll get me hype on it again.
They have to offer something like super dope for the February streams, because the December ones kind of turned me off, not getting the merch packs. So I don't know.
Well, the thing for me is that like October felt like a one-off, so it was like, okay, I'm paying $66.50 for this thing that will probably never happen again, and it's super dope. Everything's super fun and funny, and there's like so much old throwback shit that I've never heard, or stories I never heard, pictures I never seen, all that kind of stuff. So like it felt special. I'd not have an issue paying $66.50 for that. Do I want to pay $66.50 every other month for a similar? No, I mean I wouldn't do that for anyone.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's a bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean that's like my internet bill.
A lot of Patreon pages have tiers.
Yeah,
the more you pledge, the more benefits and shit you get. They should have some kind of tier packaging where you pay, say, $10 or something like that.
Right.
And
$10-$20.
10, yeah, and you get just the streams. The streams, no merch that they're offering. And then if you want the merch and they want to charge that $66.50,
yeah,
whatever.
Absolutely.
There should be tiers for it, because I would have to assume not many resubscribed for December. And if they did, I have to imagine, because of the lower quality of the December streams, people are going to be canceling.
Well, and I mean, just even looking at Twitter and stuff, like the day of the night that those streams were happening, or the next day in October, was like, I mean, I was seeing all kinds of stuff about it. And this month, I don't think I saw hardly anyone talk about it.
Yeah.
So I gotta think people unsubscribed or just didn't watch.
The live chat during the shows wasn't as live as the October ones. Like the October ones, that shit was moving so fast you couldn't even it was impossible to just keep up. The December ones weren't as live. But it's probably just a learning process at the same time.
Yeah.
For them. You go, what works, what doesn't work. Well, it seems like people really like this. They don't like this. So
because it's like not 20, it's probably more than that. It's like 30 something hours of content or something. So, um, I have no problem paying $20 for that. That's fine. But $65 is a lot of money.
yeah, especially if we're not getting the merch that we've been promised for months.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll take the hit on that. Like, like you said, the top tier 6650 merch bundle. I'll skip it. I don't need more ICP t-shirts. I don't need a coin. But yeah, they're gonna have trouble keeping people on board for 6650 every other month. That's expensive. And like I've been at gatherings, like I know who's there. There's the big baller tent people or whatever with their big trailers and stuff, and then there's a lot of broke people that saved up all year for that. So it's like these people they don't have $70 to throw around every other month.
Right. I think I said it before, where if they decided to do like a monthly Patreon thing, but lowered the price and maybe only gave us content once a week, twice a week instead of the 3 times a week, but lower that price point. Because I mean, you're gonna make more money, and because you're just gonna have more people coming in.
Yeah, exactly. More people are willing to take a gamble on something that's $10-$20 than it's closer to 100 than 20.
If I had to make a suggestion, it would be that add tiers to it, different price points, make it more affordable, and hopefully they listen to people's feedback if they pay attention. Who knows, and do the ill shit that people really like.
You say you're talking about psychopathic listening to people's feedback?
Yes, right, exactly. Hopefully,
yeah. I mean, and honestly, one a week would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're struggling to find good content, I don't need 9 hours a week.
Right.
But
if
I don't know.
If you're gonna give us ill podcasts, like I said, I like when they just shoot the shit.
Totally.
Just talk about whatever. The whole the killer podcast or whatever it was in October.
Yeah,
where they
serial
talk about
killers.
mass murderers. Dude, that shit was ill.
Yeah, that was great. And they were informative. The thing is, yeah, even them just talking about something they're interested in is fun, because they have that like childlike energy a little bit, where it's at this point it's dudes we know really well, personality wise. And yeah, the more into it they are, the better it is. So I mean, especially if Violent J's having trouble showing up to all of them,
yes,
cut back.
Right.
And how tired is Shaggy? He's doing all that and then doing how many hours of Shaggy and the Creep every week?
Yeah, Keegan and the Creep Show.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he was live last night for New Year's Eve.
That's what I mean. So he's doing what, 5 nights a week of streams?
Right. He's a busy motherfucker, and he deserves a lot of credit for what he's been doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 2020, Shaggy took it. Seems like he really took things into his own hands and was like, all right.
Yeah.
At least there was one half of ICP giving us constant content.
Well, I'm sure he was bored. I mean, he's like,
hell yeah.
We're not touring. I mean, I guess the Shaggy and the Creep Show started late 2019, so it wasn't a COVID related thing. But I mean, I don't know. With the work rate or the pace that ICP dropped stuff, I'm sure he was like, I got to do something.
Right. Supposedly Yum Yum Bedlam will be dropping March 5th. Right. That's the release date, I believe.
I've heard.
We're still waiting for the prelude. I'm wondering if the prelude's going to push back the release date, because if the prelude's not even done, what the.
Yeah, it's the night. I guess Christmas. I was so disappointed, like that. I don't even. I mean, it's just beating a dead horse at this point, but it's just like.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like it's just that disappointment. It is, Yeah,
and at this point, I'll be excited when I get it, and I'll not be excited until I get it.
Right. So December streams, they're done. They're returning in February, and it looks like we should be getting our October packages minus the CD soon. Whatever was in those packages, I have no idea.
I honestly couldn't tell you. There's a DVD of some of the stuff I already watched.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where they like the ICP historical tours and all that shit.
Right. Yeah. But like, I don't know. That was also exciting conceptually when I didn't realize that the old streams are just going to be available to watch forever.
Yeah, whenever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that on the ICP streams. Not as good as October, but bring in a different price point, and I think you'll have more returning customers for February. But also Wednesday night, the night of ICP's Pointless Pizza Party, was Magic Ninjas Attack of the Ninjas.
Yes.
What was this, the third or fourth Attack of the Ninjas event?
I think someone at the show, might have even been Dustin, I think said fourth, but I did some research because I was going to post something, because I do posts for the official Twisted Instagram every Thursday for Throwback Thursday, and so I was going to do something related to the first Attack of the Ninjas, and I think that was 2017, so I think it was actually the third.
Okay.
Or maybe the fourth. I don't know. My math's bad. But yeah, third or fourth.
Yeah, so Attack of the Ninjas, basically just performances from everybody on Magic Ninja and Welcome to the Underground. You had Red, Oh the Horror, ROC, Blaze, A la Zululu, Gibby Stites, A&B, Twisted,
Boondocks and Blaze.
Boondocks and Blaze. What were your thoughts on Attack of the Ninjas?
I thought it was super dope. I mean, it was outside of, let's say, LSP or something like that from NetFest. This is what I wanted. You know, NetFest, obviously, you know, like 13 hours long. There was probably 60% of that I didn't give a shit about. And, you know, that's trial and error, whatever. I don't blame anybody for that. And there was probably some artists on there that I don't care about that other people did, whatever. But outside of that LSP block on NetFest, which I thought was super good, this is exactly what I wanted. I want everyone on the label, front to back, you know, was it, 4 hours ish?
Yeah.
Perfect. I thought it was absolutely great. I thought, yeah, I don't know. Everybody killed it. I thought there was some people I'm more a fan of than others or whatever, but I don't think anyone did a bad job. And I thought, you know, honestly, just seeing a couple songs from Revelation and then one from Unexpected Prescription. I'm still learning the name, but you know, seeing some new songs was made my night, because that's what I wanted all along. You know, I love the classics, obviously, we all do, but I like to see artists celebrate their new work. You know, yeah. It makes it exciting.
Yeah, I do too, and that's a good platform to try it, because when they try to do it live in front of a crowd, a lot of the time the new shit, people they just stand there like, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Fuck them. Like, honestly,
right. No, like, I agree.
Because in the early days, say like you went to the Freak Show tour and you had only heard Most Tasteless, that's on you. You know, like, I don't care that you are old now or you haven't listened to something new in 10 years. That's your problem. That's not the band's problem. Like, I don't know, like across the board, not even just in this scene, but like all music in general. I hate when I have a legacy band that I really love and they have a new project out and I'm listening to it over and over again, and go see them and they maybe do one song from it and then all the classics. Like, I know that there's other people that feel exactly the opposite of that, but like, you know, make your new music matter.
Yeah.
Celebrate it.
I agree. I can remember the very first time that they performed Breakdown live. I was hoping they were going to play it. It was right after The Darkness came out. And I was like, man, I really hope they play that song, because that was like probably my favorite song on that album, even though it was just a bonus track.
Yeah.
And then that intro came on. I was like, fuck yes. And not many people were live, but I was liver than a motherfucker when they played that shit.
Exactly.
I was hyped.
And then it also, like, say you go to a show and they only play the old songs. Well, you're not going to go home that night and go, oh, I should check out that new record if you haven't heard it. You know what I mean? But if you have that moment, if you're one of those people that weren't live because you didn't know it already, and then you hear it and it's, you know, the energy is there, you know, right. Go home and bump the new record.
Yeah. I think the Attack of the Ninjas platform is the perfect place to do it. The sound was really good throughout all the performances. I liked seeing Twisted. They came out strong in the very beginning, just all new shit, Mad Season and or Revelation.
Yeah,
And
it's the first two back to back. I was for a second, I thought, are they gonna just do this record? Because they did Hallelujah right into Blueprint, right? Like it is on the track listing. So I was
yep.
like, oh fuck, are we are they gonna really just do front to back the new album? Which they obviously didn't do, but yeah, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. Because
Yeah.
and then Perfect Problem, I think, was the third track, and something about Monoxide rapping over those rock beats is just the his current old ass smoker voice with those with those intense, whatever. That was just he was on fire.
Yeah. I like how they weren't really covering each other's vocals like crazy, like what they would normally do in a concert
Yeah,
setting.
totally.
So it was dope watching them pretty much rap their entire verses all the way through.
And you can tell they like those verses,
yeah,
like they mean them.
yeah. And the Perfect Problem song, it made me like it more the way they performed it live. I already thought it was a decent song, not as good as the first single they put out,
Right.
but it's I love the hook on that song. That shit is ill.
Yeah, and it's got live potential. Like, I mean, obviously not with a crowd anytime soon, but that's gonna be, mic out to the crowd.
Yeah.
People singing along.
Yeah. Twisted killed their performance. Standout performance to me was ROC, and he was mad early in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, man, I'm just a sucker for ROC. That dude is so underrated, so underappreciated. The amount of work that dude's put in the last 30 years.
Yep.
In the underground.
Absolutely.
From Rolling with Strength to HOK, Half Breed, Level Jumpers, Soul 46, back to the ROC. They even did some Sam Hain Witch Killer shit.
Yeah.
And all the way up into his new shit. I still think Digital Voodoo is a top 5 album on M&E. I love that album.
Full agree. Yeah, I mean, Digital Voodoo is fantastic. I thought the Monster EP was really cool. It's what, like 15 minutes. It's just a cool little spooky thing, but his production on there is great. And I don't know what it is about ROC. I don't know if it's his flow or what that does not suck people in, because like you really have to focus on what he's saying to put it together sometimes, because he kind of raps in a spiral almost or something. And I don't know, not to be insulting, maybe, but I maybe it's a little above people's heads, because it's dense. But yeah, I mean, he's in this scene, top 10 ever, I think.
Yeah, he raps on contact. He should name himself Raps His Ass Off, because that's what he does.
Yeah,
dude, Ben rapping his ass off. And another group I forgot to mention that he was in, The House. I actually I have that CD.
I do too.
His solo track on there, Levels of Pain, is like one of the best songs he ever did. I would fucking kill for him to perform that live. He kills it on that song.
Any of that, I would love to hear. I mean, there'll never be like probably a Half Breed reunion or anything like that, but I would love to hear him do even a few of those old Half Breed songs. Like, I don't know. He's just his career is so slept on, but there's so much good content there.
Yeah. He used to do Fuck Halloween Live. I've seen that a couple times.
I like that.
And that's a dope track. But ROC was another, for me, a standout.
Zool killed it to me. I mean, that's
to be expected, though. Those dudes.
Absolutely.
Have you seen, I saw how hyped you were on Twitter about Zool. Have you seen them live?
Yeah, I've seen them twice.
Okay. So you know.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. I told them when I met them at like a VIP that the first time I saw them live, it was on the which tour was that, with Scum and Axe Murder Boys?
Axe's Family.
Yeah, with MMMF, however many M's. Insane Poetry and Scum. Yeah. But that energy when they hit the stage, like as a gentleman in my 30s who is, a grown ass adult, I got nervous a little bit. You know what I mean? Like in the same way, like when I saw like Slipknot back in the day on their first record tours, it was like, oh, this vibe is weird, Yeah. And I don't know how they can pull that off in this day and age, but they do. And yeah, just realizing when they were coming out that it was going to be the first time I was going to hear some of those new songs live. the first time anyone would, the first time they would have been performed, it was like, oh fuck. And then they killed it. I mean, the beats on like Blood Moon and Back and like Mask Made Me Do It and stuff, like those are made for a live atmosphere, and it, even without a crowd, it worked so good.
Mask Made Me Do It almost made me flip my fucking coffee table and mosh my cats in the living room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was, oh man, yeah. Those guys have tapped into something super special, and I'm excited. I think we're going to get to it a little bit later, but I'm excited to watch them grow their enterprise with Long Live Evil and stuff like that. Yeah, but keep it coming, Zool. That was, they gave Twisted a run for their money, I thought,
Super dope. And then they went on not super early, but they still had A&B after them, Boondocks, Blaze, Yeah,
I forgot A&B was after them, but I guess Legacy.
Yeah, but those dudes kill it. They know how to put on a live show, even if it's in front of a camera in the Magic Ninja offices.
Right.
I
wonder how much they rehearse, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about this with Twisted too, is like the energy and the playing off each other and all that. Like, they've never played these songs before live. They haven't worked that on the road. So have they been rehearsing, or like?
I wouldn't doubt it, especially Zool. They got the Church of Zool. They probably have some kind of stage setup or rehearsal room or something.
Yeah,
where they can practice. I would only imagine that these dudes are rehearsing for their performances, but I mean, who knows? They could just have that natural fucking chemistry where they could just hit the stage and just bring it and kill it.
Yeah, I mean, they were so good, and I thought it was a real disservice to A&B, honestly, to put them after, because it was almost like the way it was filmed, and obviously it's because they're in different states or whatever, but like to have Zool all together just destroying it, and then cut to like this weird pre-taped thing that ended up being pretty cool, but it was just like the energy was like, up, and then like, oh, what's this?
Right.
Like 3 Bone solo tracks or whatever.
Yeah, I like A&B. I fuck with Bones Dub. His solo is dope. Young Wicked. It's obvious I'm a fucking huge fan of dude. And where's his fucking album? All right.
The next James Garcia album is going to be
all right. I almost forgot about that till you just mentioned that, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the A&B thing, you were right, because it was like Axe was so dope, and then it was like, oh, Wicked's in his father's living room
with a wreath behind his head,
right? And Bones Dub is like just chilling in a black room. It did work though. It was dope.
Yeah, it did. It took some getting used to, because I had just seen something that was so the opposite of that, and then transitioning to that, I was like, what is this? And then they picked it up.
Still a dope performance. And then Young Wicked at the very end. I'm glad you brought that up. He said Young Wicked, aka James Garcia. And that's not the first time I've seen his name in credits. If you look at the credits of M&E albums mixed by Young Wicked, aka James Garcia, this dude is definitely going for a rebrand. He wants to drop that Young Wicked name and go with James Garcia, but to me, it's Young Wicked. It ain't even Otis. You know what I mean? It's Young Wicked, and I don't see how a rebrand, another rebrand, can be a smooth transition.
The only thing I mean, a smooth transition, absolutely not. I just checked out the Revelation CD case, and it's got both. So at the very top, when it's given the credits with the mixing and mastering, it says James Garcia, and then when it goes into the track by track breakdown, all the production credits and vocal credits are Young Wicked. So it's confusing at best. Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be an easy transition. I get it, because I think Young Wicked has mainstream appeal. Just with his talent and his production and everything he can do, and I don't think the Young Wicked name has mainstream appeal. I think it's kind of a dumb name, honestly. With all respect, I mean, it's awkward sounding. I think Otis is a better name, honestly, but I think James Garcia, I don't know, as a professional credit, I get it. As an artist name, like I sent you a screenshot the other night. Just searching Spotify for James Garcia, there's 5 artists already.
Right.
So it's like, as far as categorization goes, and like, I don't know, it seems we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. Dude deserves all the credit and all the success in the world, and I don't know if he thinks that name's holding him back or what, but I don't know if his government name is the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the way to go either. I like the Young Wicked name. I remember when it first came out, I was like, Young Wicked. I was like, it's kind of dumb, but it grew on me over time, and it's just, I don't know. Dude already changed his name from Otis to Young Wicked, and he's gonna change it again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get, because I've always said he has mainstream appeal. He has that crossover, potential because of the music he makes. I mean, Return of the Prodigal Son is like that's another one, another top 5 MNE release. Slaughter, one of the best psychopathic albums that they put out in the last decade, easily.
Yeah, 100%. I would say
everything he's done solo wise, the Vengeance EP, just fire, and then even the new A&B shit, just super dope.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I need that Young Wicked music. What's he doing? I mean, I know what he's doing. He's producing, mixing, and mastering for everybody. I get it. Yeah. But 3 years, I want to say, since there's been a solo project.
It'll be 4 years. We're in 2021. It'll be 4 years this year.
That's right. That's insane. What the fuck are you doing? Come on, man.
It's a long time.
Yeah, that's talk about no momentum whatsoever.
Yeah, that's some Blaze Your Dead homie shit right there.
Right, and he's too young for that. He's he's gonna be old Wicked by the time he gets whatever. But yeah, I don't know. He's so good, and he's so good on Mad Season. He's so good on Revelation. We need that project.
His production is it just gets better and better. Everything.
Yeah, we'll get to his. We'll get there today, but his production on that new track is out of control.
Yeah. So there was that. What was some other standouts for you on Attack of the Ninjas?
Let's see. I'm really, really starting to like Red. I didn't know what to make of him at first when he started coming around. I think his first appearance was on Digital Voodoo. And then, there was little rumblings here and there. You would see like Twisted share something that he had done, and it was pretty obvious that he would be working with them in some capacity. But I don't really know what to make of it. I don't know. He's got a vibe that isn't always for me, I guess is the best way to put it. But I gave his Symphony of Sympathy, the new record. I gave it a shot, and it's really good. It's really, really good. I think it's super poppy, super mainstream sound. I think it could, fall into that Jelly Roll category a little bit with a lot of the singing on the hooks and whatever. But it's super good. And I'm not like underground or die kind of. I'm not a loser. But I like mainstream music. I like a lot of things, and I think he's got huge potential. He's super young. I'm excited about that. So I thought just him goofing around with his boys in the closet or whatever where they performed. I thought it was really fun, and I thought it was a good showcase for him. I think it's smart that they're doing Welcome to the Underground with him and Oh the Horror, because they're a little different from the typical Magic Ninja thing, and I think that can be complementary to both sides. People that want a specific thing from Magic Ninja might not like those guys, and they don't have to, because it's this other thing, and vice versa. And maybe if Red wants to blow up, and being attached to something like Magic Ninja Entertainment on paper doesn't look good for that. He's over here on this other, I think it's smart, but I was excited with his performance. I thought it was really good. It was really short, but I thought it should be, it's basically the opening act. Oh, the Horror I was impressed with. I'm still on the fence about those guys in general. But I thought they performed really well. Gibby Stites was good. I think I like his record better than I like his performance so far.
I was gonna say his performance seemed kind of like, the only song I've ever heard from him was the single that he released when he signed.
Mm-hmm.
And to see this performance doesn't make me want to go listen to anything that he's done.
I like his, he put out a record in April, I think, called Return to Our Regularly Scheduled Program or something. I have it here. Hold on. It's It's called Regularly Scheduled Programming, and I think it's a really good record. It's a super up and coming DIY. The record before he went to a label record, but I think there's a lot of promise there. And I think especially if he's in the studio with Madrox, I think I'm excited to see what he does. But the performance was okay to me. It was.
I wasn't impressed by the performance. Blaze did his thing. Blaze just does what he does.
Yeah.
Plays all the classic shit,
Yeah, the new song sounded good. I'll never not be able to dance to Walk It Out.
Right.
I think I was helping clean out the fridge, and I had my headphones on with that playing in the background, and I started getting a little, shoulders into it. My girlfriend was like, what are you doing? Yeah. But I thought standouts, obviously Twisted, AXE, and ROC and Red. Those were the ones that really did it for me the most, I think.
Yeah, I'd say Twisted, Axe, and ROC for me. Those three performances fucking dope. It sounded really good in the Magic Ninja Studios too.
Yeah.
During that, they made the announcement streaming every Friday in February for the Fam Fridays. So I believe February is Juggalo weekend, and then Twisted does what for the Fam during just for the whole month of February.
Somebody said to me that they thought that was in April usually. So I don't know if that's different this year or what. I have trouble keeping track of stuff like that, but yeah, it's gonna be their version of Juggalo month or whatever.
Yeah, we got for the Fam Fridays, February 5th, Blaze Your Dad Homie, One Less G in the Hood 20th year anniversary show, which is kind of weird because it wasn't released until October.
Yeah, but
still, it's One Less G, and I'm excited for that show. I love that album, a classic album.
And they've done a couple of those shows, and I've never been able to make one. So I'm stoked to be able to watch one live.
Then we got Oh the Horror, Halloween 365 special, February 12th.
And that's them playing that whole record too, their latest record, front to back. Which I think is like 30 minutes or something. So there's got to be more going on. But yeah.
Oh, okay. February 19th, ABK, the Hatchet Warrior show. Out of the four, this one I'm most excited for. And then February 26th, a la Zulilu. But so we got Blaze, Oh the Horror, ABK, and Zool. ABK Hatchet Warrior show.
Yeah.
He's gonna be performing the whole album. There's gonna be obviously no ICP Isham, but I fucking love that album, man. I think ABK, he's another one that's underrated. I can remember him getting hated on back in the day. He's just for whatever reason, but this dude is, in my opinion, super dope. And to be able to watch him perform the Hatchet Warrior show, that's the one out of the four I'm most excited for.
Same, and I think for me, just because it hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? Like Blaze has done a couple of the One Less G shows, and I haven't seen one, but I know what's going to happen. I've seen videos and stuff. I've never seen a Hatchet Warrior show happen, and it's just exciting. Yeah, the only thing is it is such an ICP heavy record. They're on. I mean, I guess they're not on that many tracks, but their energy is there. Pretty strong.
Violent J wrote Haunted Nedden.
Right. Which, I don't know. Not my favorite track on the album,
but the ICP influence is definitely there on that album.
100%. I mean, Gang Related is that's almost ICP presents ABK.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like Violent J's verse is on Gang Related, man.
Yeah, the hook.
Oh yeah, just classic shit.
Mm-hmm.
See you with the hatchet, man. You in a gang, and your ass better be ready to do that thing.
That's an all-time classic Violent J verse. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a fucking mosh pit song if there is one.
Yeah, I think that'll be dope. What I'm excited to see with these shows is what surrounds them, if that makes sense. Because I don't think they're gonna do a 1-hour stream. They're gonna probably have openers or some version of openers or something. So I'm excited to see kind of what they surround it with. I think it'll be really dope. And especially with the news we got, Eastside Ninjas, which we'll get to. I keep teasing it, but it's on my mind.
I know.
Are they gonna play with that at all with any of these streams, or an encore, or I don't know. Is that wishful thinking? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. The other one I'm super hyped for. The only one I'm not hyped for is the Horror.
Yeah.
They're the new guys on the block, whatever, but I just haven't been a fan of the music. And then you're just going up against classic shit like One Less G in the Hood and Hatchet Warrior, and then you got Zool, the new guys on the block that are fucking killing shit.
Yeah, and
their performance on Attack of the Ninjas was so dope, but it was like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
I know I wanted more, and now I
know. I want an hour of Zool. I want them to play the Parish, fucking.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't probably play any of those classic.
Yeah, the shit with Insane Poetry. I can't remember the name of the song on The Almighty.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. It's a weird word, is why I'm also having trouble coming up with it.
Bilal.
Yeah.
I fucking love that song. When they play that shit live, I mean, when they play any song live, Zool, I said it before, they get my old ass in the pit all day. And
like I said, they got that energy like I'm 13 and, what am I looking at here?
So, ICP's doing their streams in February, and it looks like Magic Ninja's doing these streams every Friday in February. Just last week, I said, I'm fucking done with the live stream.
I know you did, man. I saw you watching it.
I'm done with the live stream concerts. Okay, a week later, I changed my mind.
I know. I heard you say that, and I was like, it hurt my heart a little bit because I was like, oh, Attack of the Ninjas is coming up. It's gonna be dope. And then I saw you on Twitter, we're watching it, and I was like, you fucking liar.
I said I wasn't even gonna watch Attack of the Ninjas.
I know.
Here I am watching it, vibing out, and I changed my mind. I want live stream concerts because this is. I as much as I want to go to a real concert, it hurts not being able to see these guys live. I'll take it for what it is.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's what we got.
Right, and the thing I like about the M&E live streams is they're cheap. I think these ones are even cheaper than the Attack of the Ninjas show, which was what, $16 for just the stream.
I think so. I bought some packages, so I don't remember what the exact numbers were. But yeah, I think these ones equal out to. Someone told me $8.50 each. I think. Yeah,
if you can buy each individually for like $9, or you could buy the 4-pack for like $35 or $30 or whatever it is.
Right.
Super affordable. Of course, they're gonna have the merch drops. A la Zulilu had a merch drop. They had a new mask come out. 75 were made. I went to bed. I didn't see it. I woke up, saw it, went to go look, sold out. 75 masks gone.
Damn, they sell those things like hotcakes.
Yeah, and that was in the middle of the night. That was after Attack. Like, I was kind of struggling to stay up that late towards the end because I got work in the morning. But
oh yeah, because you're also, I forget that we're on different coasts. So for me, that ended at like 8:30 or something.
Yeah, it was like almost midnight. Yeah, 11:30, something like that. And so after that show, Zool put up the packages for their live performance coming in February with the mask, and that shit was sold out. Not that I would buy it anyway, but just to see 75 sell out that fast.
Yeah.
I think the demand for these guys, their stock is just still rising.
Yeah. And I talked to a few people online who even were like not fully sold on them before Mausoleum, which I know you're not that into it. I like it, but I don't think it's as good as Almighty. But I mean, the fact that with each new release, they're still converting people, is the energy that they need, and it's working. It's going so well. So I'm just happy to see. I'm happy to see those dudes selling $100 masks in 5 minutes or whatever. That's right. They deserve it.
2020 was a fucked up year. Couldn't tour, couldn't do anything. So to see like just I saw a lot of groups do it. Outside of the Juggalo world as well. People raising their stock in a year where they really couldn't do much but push shit online.
Yeah.
And Zool did it. Zool's pushing those masks like fucking crazy, man. And
they're not overdoing it.
No.
there's not a new mask every month. There's not, I mean, they haven't diminished the value by pushing them out too often.
Well, the dope thing is when they put them out, they do it in such limited numbers.
Totally.
But it seems like because the demand is going up, the limited number is rising as well.
Which you have to. I mean, if with more popularity, if you have 10 masks, that's
right.
Almost stupid. But
like when they were first doing the masks online, it would be like limited to 25. Then it was 50, and now this newest one was 75. And then with like the Magic Ninja pre-orders, I think it was limited to 100, and then they did like another 100.
Yeah,
because it sold out so quick, and then the second batch sold out so quick.
Great, I love it.
Yeah, I love seeing dudes like that push shit. Another one, I got to bring him up just because I think he's fucking killing it. It has nothing to do with M&E or anything, but is Ouija Mac. He's another one that raised his stock in 2020.
Oh, exponentially.
Yeah, like he's doing ill merch drops still. Like he had a Chucky shirt, and he's got I forget, he's got another one coming up soon, but
he got a Michael Myers one, a Friday the 13th one.
I love watching these dudes just kill it in a time where the times are not trying to kill shit, but where the weak,
it's easy to get lost. Yeah. It's easy to kind of fold.
Right. So I'm hyped for that. Hopefully, I'm just going to assume an hour performance from Zool. And I'll be tuned into Blaze, ABK, and Zool for sure.
Yeah, I'll be watching all of them. I don't know if I'll watch all of them live, just depending on what's going on. It's a lot of whatever, but I mean, next day or whatever, I'll definitely be seeing all those. So that's exciting. It's also just exciting that they're not taking a breath. You know what I mean? I mean, like M&E has their foot so on the neck of this scene right now, and they're not letting up at all.
Yeah, like Conway the Machine says, applying pressure, and M&E and Twisted have been applying pressure. And let's get into it. The new single, surprise single that dropped, Eastside Ninjas, Twisted, Blaze, and ABK. Speaking of ABK,
yep,
it seems like he's fully on board with M&E at this point. Seemed like he was holding his distance, keeping his distance a little bit there for a little while. But yeah,
fantastic.
Day one of the new year, we got new Twisted. They just dropped Revelation a little more than a month ago. Mad Season, Songs of Sam Hain.
They still have another album coming up.
Right. Blaze just dropped an album, the rock album, like you said, Unlikely Prescription.
Yeah.
And what do you think of this new Eastside Ninjas single?
I mean, everything. I got so many thoughts on this, but I'll start with the to me the strongest element of this song, which is the beat. Young Wicked killed that beat. That
beat is fucking nut. When I heard, like, I don't know if they're horns or whatever the fuck that is. I was like, oh, this is gonna be, if anything, this beat is gonna be insane. If they come whack on the verses, this beat is fucking nuts. And is it Young Wicked? I'm trying to find out. Okay.
Yeah, no, he posted some stuff about it on his Instagram. So yeah, it's Young Wicked production and mixing and all that. And it's so good. And I mean, obviously, we're both gentlemen of a certain age. 2000, 2001, this is what I wanted. You know what I mean? Like Twisted, ABK, and Blaze were the guys to me at that time. Like
the OG drive-by.
Totally, yeah, and just man, if they can get 3-6 on a song, but well, no, never RIP. But yeah, I mean, just watching those guys out on the road back in the day. I was also obviously a huge ICP fan, but seeing there's something special about those four guys as like a crew. I remember going to the Mirror tour and the merch with Blaze and ABK. With just the image they showed for the cover of this is from that time. It's a picture of them from, I think, Halloween Wicked 2001 T-shirt that just had Twisted on it, and it looks like they expanded the picture somehow, or maybe it's just another one from that same roll of film or whatever. They have all four of them there, but it's definitely fan service in the best way to the old heads for sure. Because yeah, I mean, this is what people have been asking for forever, and I'm very happy that this is how they're bringing ABK in.
Yes,
because I think he has been coasting for a while. I'll say creatively, I don't think he's been pushing himself to put out good music necessarily. And so there's been rumblings forever. Obviously, I get DMs all the time. People talking about when are they just going to bring ABK to MNE, blah, blah. I wasn't even really sure if I wanted it, to be honest, because everyone at that label is pushing themselves all the time to put out the best material they can put out, whether you like it or not, whether it's your cup of tea or whatever. It's like, it's no one there's coasting. And I didn't want to necessarily see ABK come in and put out a lackluster piece of material and whatever. So I think you can't coast when you're rapping on a track with Monoxide. You just can't.
Right.
Unless you want to look like a fucking idiot. And it's exciting to see. I mean, even on Wasted 4, when he was on there on Mad Season, I was like, oh, this is the best ABK verse I've heard in a minute. And so I think this is the perfect way to bring him into the fold. Will he be a solo artist on the label? I don't know. But, regardless, yeah, I can't wait to hear this record.
Yeah.
The track. Oh, go ahead.
The track is fire. ABK is like so much shit. You say he's been coasting. I've mentioned before, I think there's a benefit to having a label behind you. You have more of a drive. You got competition, that friendly competition.
Totally.
He doesn't have that on his own. Who on Native World is he really competing with? You know what I mean?
Totally.
And he said before, it's been a while since he said it, but he always said psychopathic for life. But psychopathic for life, but if they're really not going to do anything for you and it seems like they could barely do shit for themselves.
Yeah.
Why stick around? And Twisted and Blaze, they're his boys,
that's why he's around.
Yeah, I like that he wanted to stick with psychopathic.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me. I always kind of felt like ABK could have been that bridge.
Yeah.
But to see him on MNE just makes sense to me. It's about fucking time. I hope he has a solo deal or something happens solo-wise for him on MNE. If not, this Eastside Ninjas project, it'll suffice for now. The track is fucking dope.
That's the other thing is the production. Like, I don't know if he's had access to great production in a while.
I know it's jacked beats, but the way it was presented, did you hear the Sawed Off solo record?
Yeah, that was dope.
That sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
The way it was mixed and shit. Who knows who did it, but it sounded really good. It's the best ABK sound has sounded since I don't even know. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see him. He's going to get a lot of hate, but he got a lot of hate anyway, even when he was with Psychopathic. So nothing's really, I don't think anything much is going to change for ABK.
And honestly, I don't know if he's going to get a lot of hate. I mean, there's losers out there for sure that are going to cry about everything, but I don't think I've ever gotten so many positive messages on Instagram, DMs from people that I don't talk to regularly, just people coming out of the woodwork to say how excited they are for this project, how dope it is to see these guys working together. Like, I when I saw it go up, I was like, oh, you sons of bitches. Like, you're going to get a talking to for this from the Crybaby Juggalo community or whatever. Yeah. But I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing only positive.
I'm seeing the opposite. It's
really?
Weird. Yeah. My Twitter mentions, my Facebook, people are like, he sucked on Psychopathic, he's gonna suck now. And I'm like, okay, whatever. People are saying, who cares? Didn't care about him before, won't care about him now.
Well, that's just general ABK hate then, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Like, people don't care. It doesn't seem like people are mad that he's quote unquote jumping ship.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought you meant with the hate.
Yeah, no. It makes sense to me. He's been floating around being associated with M&E for a while now. the group name Eastside Ninjas, that was the first thing. When I saw the image, I was like, oh shit, new Twisted Blaze and ABK. But then when I saw the group name, I was like, oh shit, this is a group project. This isn't just
Right.
Twisted featuring Blaze and ABK. This is Eastside Ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
So applying pressure, we're gonna get an Eastside Ninjas album, presumably. I'm not a big fan of the name Eastside Ninjas.
Is it a play on Eastside Riders, which was always like the rumored Riders album that was coming out that was just those 4 guys? That's what I thought it was. But then they changed it to Ninjas to rep for the label. I don't know. I don't love the name either, but
the name. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the name, but it's Twisted Blaze and ABK. I don't give a fuck really.
Right, exactly.
About the name. If this first single is any clue of what we're gonna be getting, this shit is dope. It competes with shit off Mad Season and Revelation all day. This sounds better than anything off Cadaver, in my opinion. I'm hyped for this release. Young Wicked killed the beat, man. Magic Ninja, if they're gonna drop something like this the very first day of the new year, what the fuck? They gave us 3 albums last year, plus all the other Magic Ninja shit, Lex, Zool, Blaze, Red, all that other shit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let up for 21.
And 2 things. One about that, I think it's super smart and exciting to see that they're doing this, which is like super fan service for the old school heads, for the juggalos, that were around back in the day, or that just love all that old shit. This is geared directly towards them. Presumably, this will come out in the first half of the year, as will Unlikely Prescription, which is not necessarily for those people, but is for a whole other cast of people, who might not even be here yet, that'll be turned on to that record, or, the kind of podcasts I've been seeing them do, the kind of promotion I've been seeing them do is in a different arena. So the fact that they're smart enough to be catering to both lanes at the exact same time, chef's kiss. What else do you want,
Right.
And then as far as the Young Wicked production, I thought the Triple Threat record was a really missed opportunity. I thought it should have been something really special, really cool, and I thought it was very lackluster. Every song pretty much sounded the same. Production was fine, hooks were fine, but it just seemed very like, all right, you're going to do a verse, I'm going to do a verse, that's the track. It just seemed like uninspired, honestly. And this seems like an opportunity to right that wrong a little bit and make it even better, because you got ABK there too. I was
gonna bring up that same point. Like, this one song is better than anything on that Triple Threat album.
Yeah.
That was a really missed opportunity. I think people wanted Triple Threat, but I don't think they, the product that they gave us, wasn't that good. But adding ABK into the fold just adds a whole new dynamic.
Totally.
For me, ABK's, up there with fucking ICP, Twisted Blaze, that 02 to like 04 era, that family era.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were just, the Hatchet Rising shit, like,
well, even before that, when I was, like when say like One Less G was out, I couldn't have been a bigger ABK fan, and I played that like Native Funk record out, my burned copy I had downloaded from Napster or whatever. Like, yeah, he deserves a better career than he's had the last 10 years, I would say, and I'm happy that he might finally
get that with Magic Ninja.
Absolutely.
They are providing opportunities. They are, they're the, I've always compared them to the WCW. They're just scooping up all the other talent, from the other federation, if you will.
Yeah. That's an apt.
Yeah. And I love it. I love the ABK move. I want to see him. I don't even give a fuck about Shapeshifter at this point. No. Shapeshifter, it's such a a couple years ago, I was hooting and hollering for it, but at this point, I just want a solid solo ABK record. There's no confirmation if he's a solo artist on M&E, but I'm gonna hold out hope that he
Yeah,
is. At least the collaboration with Native World, similar to like what Axe has with LLE.
totally. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have to be exclusive to them. Who cares? I mean, it's 2020. What does that mean anyway?
They've all
You
been
know?
boys for who the fuck knows how long anyway.
Yeah, it's 2021. I've said like 4 times it's 2020. I'm not used to this new year yet. But yeah, I mean, like, yeah, an MNE ABK solo record. I mean, just listen to the stuff that they're doing with Boondocks, with Blaze, like those guys are, I don't know if they're being pushed necessarily. I don't know if that's fair to them to say that like the label is pushing them or whatever, but like there's tracks on that Boondocks record that I don't think I would have ever heard Boondocks make in the past, that sound like, I don't know what the best way to put it is. It sound professional, I guess is a word, or like the craftsmanship is really, really thorough and well made. Things are sounding well made. Hooks have the right people on them. There's a lot of James Spaniolo credits in the Boondocks record on hook writing and stuff like that. And if it has to be a team effort to make something sound fucking good, they're gonna knuckle down and get in there. And I want to see that ABK record.
It also shows the support. The support is really there.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make you want to do something ill, they're gonna help you out, and it's dope to see. I've seen a lot of good feedback for the Boondocks record. I haven't heard it. One thing I found out about it, which was interesting to me, I don't know if you're familiar with Lance.
You talked about this last week, I think, and him as on production.
He produced a lot of a bunch of the tracks on the album. I want to listen to it just to hear what Boondock sounds like with Lance production, and if Lance switched his production to work or cater more towards Boondock's sound. So
I don't think so. I don't know. I would be curious because I don't know his sound from the past and either. We're coming at this from opposite angles, I think.
Right.
But it doesn't sound. I'm not sure which Boondocks you're thinking of. I guess I'll start there. It doesn't sound like banjos and shit or whatever.
That's what I'm thinking.
No, it's harder beats than that for the most part. And then there's some like almost like Southern rock influenced kind of singing songs. Yeah. But I don't know who did what beats either. But yeah, I was surprised because I was listening to it and I was like, man, Boondocks has learned how to write a fucking hook. And then I checked those credits and I was like, man, Jamie Madrox can write a fucking hook.
Right. I'm gonna have to check it out at some point. I'm not rushed to it just because I'm not the biggest fan, but I mean that one single that he had, I can't remember the name, but the
hard one.
Yeah. That shit was fire. I was like, whoa, it's like some of the best Boondock shit I ever heard.
To me, it's his best record, I think. Some of the older ones have competition in my head just because, I've liked him longer or whatever. But I think as far as like showcasing his talents wise, this is his best work.
Yeah. I have to peep it at some point. But yeah, super hyped for ABK working with M&E, the Eastside Ninjas group. Definitely hyped for that.
The thing that also, not before, I mean, we're getting long on this, but it's huge news. The thing that I like about people going to M&E and putting out new music is that it's not, I'm trying to be delicate with my words. There's not as much of a emphasis on gimmick. And I don't mean that in a negative way necessarily, but like in the past, ABK has played to a character a lot. You know what I mean? Blaze even has some personal songs on his new album. Boondocks has become just like a dude that raps. He's not a killer scarecrow or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? So like, I want to see the ABK record where he's not either trying to be super gangster as a 45-year-old dude or super like, a thing. I don't want to see him try to be a thing. I want to see him make good music.
Yeah.
And focus only on that.
100%. It's been a long time. I know he's put out projects, but it's been a long time since Medicine Bag, and that was his last real solid effort.
That was a
I
long time.
love Medicine Bag.
Yeah, and that was almost 10 years ago.
I think we're coming up on 11 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time, and you know he does stay busy, does put out music, but super hyped to see him with this new group. But like you said, it brings you back to 02, 03, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember when Drive By was first announced. You look at Cryptic Collection 3, right? With the Static song, Twisted Blaze, ABK, and it's called, I think it's Static, and it's listed as a Drive By song. And I was like, oh shit, you know.
Well, and even like Juggalo Party, that Hella Wicked song,
yeah.
with all four of them. I think that was, I don't know if that was labeled as Drive By or if that was just a Twisted Blaze and ABK or whatever, but all that early stuff when he was first being introduced into the camp, and you know, Blaze was still, you know, not new, but like, or not brand new, but you know, he was still building his reputation or whatever. Like the four of them together sounded so good, and they still do. So
that's the best part, is like the chemistry it's definitely still there.
Yeah, and you can tell that they know this is an important project, and so we better fucking go ham, because
based off this one song that we had no idea was even coming, you know.
I thought it was V5 for sure.
I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to get a Venomous 5 announcement soon as well.
Honestly, I'm more hyped for this.
I think I saw Young Wicked post on his IG story saying he's mixing some shit for Twisted and Zool.
He did, yes. Yeah. So there's something coming there. I don't know if it's just a track or.
So we might get the rock album from Twisted, but then 21 might be the year of the side group.
Totally, that's
Eastside Ninjas, Venomous 5. You know, that'd be fucking fire. Stay away from the 3 of 5 idea, please. Do not touch that.
No, they will. I think that was. I think it was pretty clear that everybody shot that down.
Got to put it out there though, because you never know. Minds could change. 3 of 5 is still a bad idea.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any. You know,
there's no need for it.
No, I don't think there's any desire from anyone.
I think shit popping up with surprises like Eastside Ninjas is like, that's the shit right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was hyped because I thought it was going to be V5, and then when it was this, I was like, oh, I didn't even know I wanted this, and I need this now.
Right, exactly.
So,
speaking of Zool, they run their own label. They have some kind of joint venture with Magic Ninja and Long Live Evil, and they made the announcement that they signed a new act. At first it was they're making a new announcement. People were speculating that they were adding a new member, which made no sense to me.
Why would that be it?
Yeah, that made no sense. I was like, they already added Lee Carver. Adding a fourth would just, you can't do that. Not now. It's just, or ever at this point.
What would be the point?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Zool is the way it is now. Perfect. Even without Lee Carver, it was dope. But with Lee Carver, it's like even doper.
Yeah.
So, you know, that made no sense to me. But I knew that they were working with the Super Famous Fun Time guys for a while. To me, it seemed kind of obvious that Super Famous Fun Time was going to be the new Long Live Evil artist. And lo and behold, they are. They dropped a new single with Billy Obey. It is called Brainless. And I did listen to the single. I've heard of these guys for at least a couple of years. You know, Super Famous Fun Time guys is Whipstick and Mr. Eight Legs. I'm very familiar with Eight Legs because he's been doing art for a minute.
Yeah.
Even before he hooked up with M&E and a lot of the bigger names in the underground. So I've been familiar with him. I just never listened to their group. And upon first listen, it's like, I get it. It doesn't sound bad, but it's like, it's just kind of like whatever to me.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the sillier side of Zool that you don't always see that much, which is, I don't know. I think it's cool. I haven't, like you said, I haven't listened to a ton of their stuff. I listened to probably 4 or 5 songs the other night after the announcement came out. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm I'm happy to hear this. I'm happy to see where these guys go, especially with the, like we said, a different label lighting a fire up under them. Like, I'm here for it. I'm uh, optimistic, but I don't have a lot of,
Yeah,
uh,
same.
I don't have a lot
Right.
of stock in it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just kind of is what it is. But what I do like about it is I was talking about it before, is Zool raising their stock, and now here they are investing into new, you know, new signing new artists to their label.
Yeah,
Long live Evil.
building something of their own.
Yeah, that's what the underground needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have other labels in the underground, but when has a new group popped up like Zool, grown has like Zool has, and start a new label with? It seems like there's some kind of promise behind it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I think Zool's so smart with their branding and with the way that they do everything that I don't think they would do this. Um, I don't know, like willy nilly or whatever. I don't think they would do this if they hadn't thought it out all the way and didn't have a really strong plan. And it's the way that they brand themselves. I think they're using it in this. Like, there's a short video that the super famous Funtime guys posted, also super long name.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna get hard to say over and over again. But they posted a video on their Instagram, I think, that was like them getting sucked into the church with a bunch of shadowy voices and kind of stuff. And there's a T-shirt that's like them with Zool faces behind them. So I almost feel like they're branding it like they're getting, not abducted, that's the wrong word, but like sucked into Zool world a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really interesting way to do something like this. It's not just like, here's our new friends. It's there's a little bit of mythology around it and stuff, which I think is perfect.
Did you see the video for Brainless?
I haven't yet. No, I haven't even heard the track yet.
Yeah. So I watched. That's how I listened to the song. I watched the video. The video is fucking dope.
Nice.
Billy Obey's in it. I thought the video was really good, and I'm just excited for. I'm just excited for the Zool guys, man.
Yeah.
Watching them make the moves that they're making, and now Long Live Evil is kind of taking off.
Well, and their brand fits within M&E for sure, but it's also very different. And so I think that's worth exploring. You know what I mean? In the same way that, like, Twisted signed a Psychopathic back in the day. They fit really well, but they were also very different. And then they kind of brought in Blaze, ABK, all that. I think this is a perfect way in the new, era or whatever to have the same thing where it's like Zool fits M&E, all the fans love them. Let's see what their, side of the spectrum is or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if it was movies or comic books or whatever, it's like, what's their spin-off? What
Right. Yeah.
What's their world look like? Let's flesh that out.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna see it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what becomes of LLE, Magic Ninja, going forward in 2021. We still got 2 more projects of Lex the Hexmaster that got to drop to follow up Party Castle and the Haunted Mansion EPs. So we're still waiting on those 2. I'm sure those will be dropping this year.
Yeah, I thought they'd be out already, honestly, but oh well.
Yeah, I was hoping that by the end of the year we'd get them, but I mean, they just came so hard with. I mean, it was like Zool, Blaze, Twisted, Boondocks. Sorry, Lex, we already put 2 of yours out. You got to wait a few months.
Yeah, and maybe he's not done with them, or maybe he had a plan and he scrapped some ideas and is reworking some stuff, or who knows. But I don't know. I feel like he'll have good things coming. He's never disappointed. So
yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Haunted Mansion EP. I really liked Party Castle a lot.
I like about half of the Haunted Mansion one a lot, but there's a couple tracks I wasn't listening to.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I fuck with Lex.
Yeah,
always have from when he first came out, still do. And yeah,
it's just crazy to think that. I mean, obviously, like, a year beginning and ending is hella arbitrary, so it's whatever. But like, 2020 was so crazy for those guys that it's like, no one would blame them for kicking back the first couple months, or like going, hey, we just gave you a record, we're going to lock down the studio before we get to the next one, and it's just like, no, sorry.
To be honest, I don't think they can afford to.
Yeah, probably.
They can't tour. I would imagine a lot of their money, just in general for artists, a lot of money comes from touring, and just it didn't happen in 2020. So they got to make up for it some way.
And that's true. And I mean, I think they're also just restless dudes. I don't think they're gonna go on vacation.
No.
When have they done that in 20 years?
Yeah, if 2020 was any indication, 21 is going to be just as entertaining.
Yeah, and I'm all the way here for it. I don't think I've been as stanish or excited in a teenager ass way about something than I have this year with these dudes, because they just have been surprise after surprise. Everything's been top notch.
Yeah, and just I'm still super happy with the move, with ABK's move, joining them doing this group project. Whether it's just a group project and nothing comes from it solo, doesn't matter. I'm still excited.
Yeah, I need news on yesterday on that. Right. Is there a record? Is there a date? Is there a whatever? I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll hit us with some kind of schedule or release dates at some point soon.
I guess we'll see Monday.
Yeah,
Monday seems to be a good. I think they drop half their news on Mondays and Fridays. It feels like so.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap it up though. We covered a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's almost an hour and a half.
Yeah. I appreciate you hopping on. You got anything you want to plug?
Actually, kind of, yeah. So obviously at Twisted History on Instagram, I've been doing that for like a year and a half now or something like that. But as part of it, so what I've always done is when there's a Twisted project that, I'm talking about chronologically. If you're not familiar with the page, I just basically am telling their story from early House of Crazies, basically till whenever I catch up with modern times. But I'll take, clips of live shows, clips of interviews and stuff like that, and put them on the Instagram. And I'm getting now to the era where they start the original Ashtrays and Action Figures on W Fuck Off Radio on Psychopathic. And that stuff is pretty hard to find. It's not on YouTube. There's MP3s floating around, but I said enough is enough. So I am editing them, taking all the music out because it's music from various labels, and putting them up on YouTube as I talk about them. So I think the first one's coming out either Friday the 1st or Monday, depending on when I have time to do it. I've already got it ready to go, but basically I'm just going to publish each episode on YouTube as I discuss it. So it'll be there to listen to. So at least once a week, there'll be an old throwback version of Ashtrays and Action Figures for everyone to check out.
Oh, wow.
They're fun shows. I've listened to the first 2 so far, and it's really funny stuff. It's if you haven't heard it, it's a treat. That's some
old school shit. I'm surprised you even found that stuff.
It's just taking old MP3s, editing them, converting them to YouTube. I had to teach myself how to do a lot of shit I know how to do, but it's been worth it. I think it's going to be dope.
Fuck yeah, that's dope. Yeah, and again, I appreciate you hopping on. Everybody that's tuned in right now, much fucking love. Beginning of the new year. I appreciate all the support that I've been shown since I've started this. It's growing. It's going to continue to grow. Much love to everybody that shows love. Much love to everybody that shows hate. Because if you ain't got no haters, you ain't got people you're pissing off or people, whatever, you ain't doing something right. So I appreciate the haters too. And until next time, I'm Roboto, the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm out. Peace.